Douglas, you were on mute. Can't hear you.
Oh, there we go. We're good now. Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, doing great. I'm doing the FB Live, okay?
Oh, you're gonna broadcast it live. I think I should probably get into Facebook. No, we have that, or does it matter as much?
It doesn't matter. You can do the Facebook Live, or I can do it too.
Just that it shows like I want to make sure it shows my profile when we do it. You know what I mean? We've had that challenge in the past too. So if
Yeah,
you could give me the host permissions, I'll do that. And then,
yeah.
did there any marketing that had a certain topic? If not, it's okay. I'm gonna kind of roll with it, but you let me know.
I'm currently sending an email, and we have to send the text. Okay,
Was that
just
for the
like
90-day or something else?
no, it's for this live. Yeah,
Right. But is there a specific topic you want me to cover that the team wants me to cover today or anyone asked for, or
yeah,
just pretty much?
yeah, yes. Real estate wholesaling masterclass on how to do a deal in the next 90 days.
Okay. Okay, cool. So, I'll chat on that. Hold on one second here. I'm gonna put this into the title. Wholesaling. My computer's going a little slow here for some reason. How to uh, How's it going, Kristen? What's up, Esther? See you guys there. We're just getting set up on Facebook here, so bear with us just a moment.
Hi, Doug.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you? I have questions when you get settled.
Okay, cool. Yeah, if you want to put those into the chat for now, because I'm gonna be presenting into the Facebook group for the next about hour, and then we have our 1 o'clock right after this. So if you wouldn't mind using the chat, and then I'll read those. If you want to send them directly to me, or if you want to ask live, we could do that too. I'll make sure there's a segment for that as well if you want.
Okay.
All right, Mo, I'm gonna get you hooked up here. Hold on one sec.
Where is that property?
Hey Mo, I'm just gonna make the title closing a deal, close the deal in the next 90 days because that's really what we're talking about. Um Okay. And I'm just so everyone knows, I mean, obviously we're in Zoom, so we're going to be broadcasting this from Zoom into Facebook, in a larger group. So if you want to go back later, Esther, Kristen, whoever else, you're going to look at the real estate investing mastermind group to get this replay. It might also appear in your membership site as well, depending on how you're set up with us. But as far as the topic, we're going to be talking about, the 90 days, how to close a deal in 90 days or less, and also touching upon, I wrote down a note just about some other topics as well, but related to this. So we'll get into that. And there's some questions, it sounds like. So feel free to jot down your questions if you're in the Growth Collective with us in the community or the inner circle, and we'll cover those at some point as well here. All right. Looks like we're going live. Let's see. Facebook usually gives me a trigger and says preparing. There we go. All right. Hey, welcome everybody. Good afternoon. It's Thursday and it's a little past 12. I'm here, Douglas J. Beck, your host and founder of the Real Estate Investing Mastermind Facebook group and community, also founder of the Growth Collective. So if you don't know about that, head over to jointhegrowthcollective.com at some point today. We'll be talking about some of this in our meeting right now, but we have some folks in the room with us on Zoom. Shout out to Kristen and Esther and Wendy, and also Felipe's popping in as well. So we got some other folks coming in the room. People that are out there all across the country, taking action, making things happen, closing deals, making connections, joint venturing, collaborating, doing really cool stuff. So if you don't know about the Growth Collective, check out jointhegrowthcollective.com. Also, a quick reminder that tonight we have our Dealmaker Live event. So if you want to head over to get information about that, it's thedealmakerlive.com. It's a free ticket, excuse me, it's a free ticket to get registered for general admission. We do have a VIP option as well, which you can take a look at on the website. The dealmakerlive.com has more details about all that, how that works. And today we're going to be talking about closing a deal in 90 days or less. Actually, I'm going to be here. I'm physically here live now with you, but I'm actually going to utilize something that one of our team members was able to put together for us to kind of summarize, what it is to work with us in a 90-day engagement and really understand how it's possible that we can make such a broad and big claim to help our clients do just that. And so it's not going to be just like how it works and why you should consider joining us. It's also going to be some of the tactical and strategic executional type things. So for example, number one is going to be, just like the Dealmaker Live, number one is, we need to identify opportunities. Number two is we got to know how to analyze those opportunities. Number three, we have to negotiate those opportunities. Number four, we have to contract, an opportunity to buy property. And number five, we're going to go ahead and actually close that deal. And so there's a couple of resources that I'll be sharing with you all. Mo, if you could please send over to me the slide deck. Mo is on our team here at Growth Collective and JDL. If you could please get me the slide deck for that real estate wholesaling masterclass so I can use that as needed. I also need the link for the 90-day accelerator explanation that Alexander put together for us. So if you could share that into the chat, that'd be great. So I have that on standby. And I'll be sharing those things on my screen. And when we get to that point. Right after this meeting, just so you guys know, I mean, the Growth Collective members know this, but the rest of the group here inside our Facebook group may not know. We have our hot seat and Q&A discussion. So we'll have a live meeting right after this at 1 o'clock, roughly 1 o'clock. As soon as we're done with this meeting here, and we'll be talking in our private community called the Growth Collective Community, and we'll be able to actually serve you, right? And there might be an opportunity for you to join us today in that group. So we'll talk about that when we get there, what that looks like. If you're interested in that, by the way, if you're hearing me live and you're in this room right now, do me a favor and comment below where you're based out of and what you're focusing on. If you're inside of Facebook, go ahead and do that in the comments. If you're inside the actual Zoom, feel free to reintroduce yourself in the chat so that the folks in the room know who you are, where you're based out of, and what you're doing. So you guys can connect outside of this conversation. I want to make sure you all have the opportunity to get to know each other and connect at a deeper level besides just hearing, this conversation today from me. So with that being said, today's going to be exciting. It might feel a little bit nerve-wracking for some because you're like, man, I've been working on this for a lot longer than 90 days and I haven't had the success that I know I really want and deserve and that God has in store for me. But I know that there's a plan and a process to get there. So I'm here to listen and learn about that. And wholesaling is one of those ways for sure. In fact, in this group, we're going to talk about wholesaling first off, and then we're going to talk about other strategies. But in this group, inside this Facebook group that this is being broadcast in, again, the Real Estate Investing Mastermind group on Facebook. If you're hearing this somewhere else, by the way, on YouTube or somewhere else, if you go to thereimastermind.com, thereimastermind.com, and you're hearing this video somewhere else besides our Facebook group or besides live today, you can go to that website and you could opt in to be part of this group with us for free. That's our free community on Facebook where we do typically a weekly live or some type of conversation every single week. And we put a lot of content. We're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff with our group in the future as well. That free community, allowing other people to come in and present and talk with us, sharing content from our private paid coaching group as well, our mastermind group, and lots of different things. So, but the fact is that many of you, I would say, and I'm curious to who is here now that's in this room, who's been working on their business for at least 90 days. If you have been working, just put 90 days. If you've been working on your business for at least 90 days, let me know. Put that as a comment somewhere. If you haven't yet, just hang tight for right now. We're going to talk about that in a second. But if you've been working on your business or working in the business for at least 90 days, comment 90 days. So we know that you're in this for at least a few months. Okay. And that's going to be an indicator that you've got experience. Whether you see that experience being the kind of experience you've expected or anticipated is something else we'll talk about. But the fact is you've got commitment and focus on this business for at least 90 days, then put the comment 90 days somewhere. I see Wendy's here for 90 days. I believe Esther's been, I know Felipe has for sure. And I have as well in the room and Mo, of course, but on Facebook, I can't see the comments right now. So I'll come back around. Maybe my team can help me out with that. But here's the thing. Most individuals, and myself included, in my first 90 days did not close a deal. Most individuals do not close a deal in their first 90 days. So here I am leading you in this group of thousands of people in my community that have committed, capital and time and focus to what we do, telling you and suggesting that it is very much possible to do so. Here is the caveat though, right? There's a big caveat, and I'm going to talk about this and I'm going to share my video in a second on the screen. We need to be aligned and have a plan and have a strategy that's realistic. I just talked to actually one of our members, Kristen. So we had a really nice conversation. I'm excited to be working with her as well. And God willing, we're going to have some more things to do in the future here together, working closer together. But the fact is, she said a lot of great things, which I'm going to recap here for you. Like, if you don't have a plan or alignment, or you don't have a strategy that's fitting into your life. So let me give you an example of what not to do. Okay. What not to do is have a full-time job, a full-time focus on your family, a full-time focus on personal leisurely activities like playing a sport, going to the gym, doing sort of stuff. Your plate is overflowing, and now you're saying to yourself, man, I'm going to go make another 6 or 7 or 8 meetings happen every single week and pour myself into this business outside of those meetings on top of all that. You're literally going to burn yourself out, right? That's not what we're talking about doing. So if you are already at capacity, then what has to happen first is do like we just had a conversation with myself and Kristen. Kudos to Kristen for suggesting that. Thank you so much, seriously, because we had the opportunity to break down what's realistically possible for you to do in this business. What has God planned for you? Maybe it's right now, it's a starting point, but it's not expected that in 90 days or less, you're going to close a deal. Some of you have like an impetus saying like, I have to close a deal. Otherwise this other really bad thing is going to happen. Like I don't have money or I don't have success yet. I feel frustrated. I'm aggravated. I'm whatever, feeling those negative emotions. Those are all maybe truths, but the fact is, by overcommitting yourself to something is not going to solve and get you past those challenges you're facing. It's actually going to do quite the opposite. It's going to backfire usually. And I've seen this across hundreds and hundreds of people that I've worked with directly, one-to-one in small groups. So I'm sharing that with you today, just to like, not to scare you or make you feel any way besides, realistically checking in with your commitments. So that's, I would say, step one, right, today is make a list of all the things you've committed to. Make a list of all the family things, the personal things, the work things, the business things. Make a list of those things first, right? And then look at that list and say, which of these things fit into the vision for my life looking forward of the person I want to become or the person I am becoming, or both, right? And if you see a misalignment of things you've committed to, people you've associated with all due respect, that don't fit into that vision, then you need to make some difficult decisions and step away from those scenarios and make room. See, I've done content. Some of you have heard me for a while talking about this concept of making space. I mean, I remember back 6, 7 years ago, I think, maybe even longer ago, I was on this thing called Periscope, which is on the platform that used to be called Twitter, which is now called X, which is just a whole other thing. So whatever, Elon Musk is, a whole nother animal. But the fact is that Periscope, I shared this in my group the other night, was a platform before Facebook Live for us to communicate on a live video across the world with people, right? That we didn't know yet. And so that's side note, you should consider doing that sometimes, using Facebook Live to connect to people you don't know and make connections that could really be very profitable, not just financially, but otherwise. But the fact is, on Periscope, I was early on, like almost 8 years ago, I think it was one of my first videos there, talking about the concept of making space. What does that mean? Well, here I am almost 8 years ago, or 9 years ago, I guess, still working full time, because it wasn't until October 2015 that I handed my resignation letter in to J&J, Johnson & Johnson. So great company, great stock. If you're into stocks and looking for stability, obviously that's one thing you could do, is invest into companies like that. There's a lot of other things, interestingly enough, in real estate that you could do, which I help a lot of people figure that out too, with my involvement in our fund, for example, for the debt fund and other things we do. But I'm sitting at J&J saying to myself, man, I'm putting in 8, 10, 12 hours a day consistently, day after day. Plus, I have a small family, my wife and I, and then our children. We had one child, was born in 2011. Jacob, my son, is about to be 13, kind of crazy, teenager. It's nuts. And then my daughter was just born 3 weeks before I started the business. So she was about a year and a half-ish around the time that I left. But I had these commitments of all those things, plus my own personal goals and objectives. I happen to like to go to the gym and play basketball and do fun stuff with my friends, and like normal people do, right? All these commitments. And I said, what's the commitment that I have that's in the way for my full potential to be realized? And obviously I had to come up with a plan to get that thing that's in the way off my plate. And I decided to literally hire a coach. Like I got into Tony Robbins, and I basically paid and invested a lot of money with their group. And I actually got a business coach through Tony Robbins. That was one of my business coaches. Then I got another coach in the business coaching and life coaching space. I paid another amount of money for every single month out of New Jersey. And so I was committing to pay people to help me free up my time, because I didn't know how to do it. See, I was entering areas that were uncharted territory, areas where I had never looked at, seen before, known how to handle. I didn't know how to remove these things, because here I am making a full-time income of over $100,000 a year at a really well-respected company with full benefits and everything like that, having stability, so to speak. But what I didn't have was I didn't have any time. I didn't have flexibility. I didn't have freedom, so to speak. I didn't have any capacity to choose where I was, how I did it, when, whoever I was with, that kind of thing. It's like, I want to go where I want to go, when I want to go, with who I want to go, whenever I want to go, kind of thing, right? That's like the goal for freedom. I think that's what we all kind of strive for. It's not to be greedy. It's just to say, like, that's what God, I think, has planned for us. Like, there needs to be freedom. Like, it's in the Bible. It talks about this in many different places about freedom and having trust in the Lord. And like, it's all these things that are really biblically based. And as some of you know, I'm on a growth journey myself because raised Roman Catholic and now getting closer to my relationship with God and Christ. Like, I've, over the past year and a half, 2 years, really invested into that and connected with people in that space that have been spiritually mentoring me as well, understanding like really where is the depth that may not be in existence. So maybe that's something that somebody here needs to hear too. Like, get connected with the people in your church or your community that could bring awareness to things and maybe you don't have full awareness or understanding of, like the Bible, for example, right? Faith. I wrote down faith. It takes a lot of faith to grow a business, any business. It takes a lot of faith in your God, but also takes a lot of faith in yourself. So let today be a word of encouragement for those of you. And I'm also getting over being a little sick, so you have to forgive me. I might have to, take a sip of this juice stuff, this strawberry banana, they call it naked juice. It's kind of weird, but it's whatever. It's kind of random, but give me 1 second here. It takes a lot of faith, in your God, in our God, and also in yourselves and myself and others to really take that risk and step out of your comfort zone and go into uncharted territory. But I also I can also say, like, people that have already been there, like John Maxwell talks about this in the 21 laws of leadership, irrefutable laws of leadership. He says the law of navigation, right? The law of navigation says like that, people that are leaders know how to navigate uncharted territory because they've led people down those paths and they've found ways to find the map, so to speak, of being a leader. And really, that's one of the elements of leadership is like knowing how to navigate uncharted territory, creating a plan, a map. And so maybe that's what you need to hear today. I don't know if someone here needs to plan out their path, right? And that's where I can help you as well in working together in the Growth Collective, working together here, but also in the Growth Collective. Maybe you're part of the Growth Collective, but maybe we haven't talked one-to-one. Like that was a conversation I had just with Kristen a little bit ago, and others have decided to step into that. So there's an option for you to work with me and my team one-on-one. And so we should talk about that, right? But that's something we talk about one-to-one actually on the phone, like I just did with Kristen. But there's also, the element of maybe it's somebody else besides me that needs to get in your ear and in your face and around you and talking to you one-on-one. So maybe that's somebody from church or somebody in your community, somebody who's a specialist in the thing that you're looking to figure out, basically. And so, it's not just about me or about what we do. It's also about you guys and all being empowered to go out there and seek, right? Seek, and then you'll find, essentially. So all that to say that we have to ground ourselves, I would believe, in faith in God and faith in ourselves. And you have to have a plan. Without all that and without creating space, like everything else I'm going to say today, everything else I'm going to show and talk about is not going to make a difference. I hate to break it to you, but I'm just being real, and I'm not going to, sugarcoat it because a lot of people out there just do that. And I had that done to me many a time, and I'm not going to be the guy to do that or, anything like that to you guys. I'm going to straight up just tell you that it's going to take work. It's going to take a lot of risk and faith in yourself and God, but you have to have a plan amidst all that. And when things don't go as planned, you have to know how to navigate through those challenges as well, which again is why you might want to have somebody or something to lean on. Okay. So on that note, I mentioned already before, just a quick reminder, the Dealmaker Live is happening tonight. The dealmakerlive.com is a 3-hour intensive workshop event where essentially you're going to have training from me on a screen where I'm going to explain to you exactly what to do, the 5 steps: identify, analyze, negotiate, contract, and close. And then you're going to have the opportunity to actually implement this in the event with my team and I helping lead the path for you to put this into motion and take action tonight, right? Tonight. Like this is January 11th right now. This is tonight I'm talking about. And so that's from 5:00 p.m. until 8 p.m. for the general admission. If you've already been through it, it doesn't hurt to do it maybe again, but then again, you might already got that information. So just let us know if you're thinking about that. We could tell you what we suggest or not. It's going to be a lot of the same content. It's going to be a lot of the same training. It's going to be more about execution that's going to make the difference. So if you want to execute again and do the work again, that's a different story. Now, in addition to that, there's also an hour-long VIP opportunity where you can have a Q&A session. And essentially, today, we're going to have that also for the folks in the group here, where you can come in at 1 o'clock right after this meeting and talk with our Growth Collective members and also my team and I about your challenges and your Q&A that you might have, getting answers to your questions. So it's interactive. It's in a Zoom format. So if you want access to that Q&A at 1 p.m., just do me a favor and comment Q&A, and then my team will tell me how many people are putting Q&A on Facebook, and we'll make a decision if it's going to be everybody who's here live right now, that's here in the moment, that can get access to that today, or if it's going to be just a few people, depending upon how many people are in the room with us. We don't want to overflow. Our clients and members need the support. And so we want to make sure that they have the space needed to get their answers to their questions. And then obviously we have some room for a couple of guests. We'll bring you guys into that as well. Make sure that, Mo, make sure that Kristen and everybody else in the community has access to that for 1 p.m. It's actually going to be the same exact Zoom. So you guys are already here. You can just hang tight and it's nothing that's going to change. We're just going to switch basically which group we're in. And then we're going to just take a break around 1 o'clock-ish. If we're done around that time, we should be. And then we're going to move into our Q&A and hot seat discussion. Okay. So we talked about Faith a bit. We talked about the Dealmaker Live. Again, reminder that if you're looking to learn more about what it's like to be a member of the Growth Collective, join thegrowthcollective.com is the place to go to find out about that. Our team has put up a lot of information. There's also a video where I explain that. So you might want to do that now. Even if you're listening to this live and you're not part of the group, you can take a second to just look at that, as we're talking, and we'll come right back. It'll take you 5 minutes, 10 minutes max. I'm going to be talking about the concept of one-on-one and the concept of a 90-day accelerator, but I'm also going to show you some things in the meantime. So let me first get the link here that Mo sent over. All right. Thank you, Esther. Thank you, Wendy. You guys have both been working at this, and Esther has a question. Let me read that real quick here. Okay. Yeah, that's a good question, Esther. So I'm going to come back to that. Don't let me forget that. I'm going to address that either in this session or potentially in our Q&A. Are you good for 1 p.m. still as well? Or no, you're not able to stay for 1? I think you're saying yes. You're on mute right now, but I see you saying yes. Okay, cool. All right, let me bring up this presentation here.
Sorry. Yes, 1 o'clock looks good. As long as I eat something, I'm good.
Okay, cool. Excellent. Excellent. So let me share here. And I've given this presentation in some ways or another before, so some of you may have seen this. Inside of our Growth Collective, we talk about this almost every week in some capacity, these different concepts. But as far as in this Facebook group, we're in the Real Estate Investing Mastermind, we also have this presentation in different ways about closing a deal in 5 days or less, right? How could I possibly close a deal in 5 days or less? Why is my screen? It's not. What's going on here, guys? Oh, wait. Okay. I see. You guys are making it slideshow. Okay. Gotcha. Oh, go back one. All right. Here we go. So, wholesaling, we've talked about. I'm not going to spend too much time today talking about wholesaling, but what's on the screen, I'm one example of probably hundreds, if not thousands of people that have lived this and are living this today. So the question is, like, if you were to think through your plan for the year and you say, what would it be like to have an extra 20, 30, 40, 50 grand a month coming in consistently into your life? I mean, most people I know, that's going to be majorly life-changing. It's not like a little bit, it's like a lot, right? You're talking about probably quadruple to 10 times the amount of what the average American sees as far as an income. Now, this is business, so you might have a small team, might have some systems, but it's a very highly profitable model, okay? Highly profitable, meaning like if we, let's say, flip a contract for $10,000, it might cost me $1,000 to $2,000 max to carry that project, that completion, because it takes me a few weeks max to get from the time I get the opportunity identified and under contract till I actually close it. And so this is a strategy that some of you, obviously most of you would be interested in, but some of you have attempted or are attempting now. And the details behind all this matter. But again, it's under the premise that you have to understand, what is wholesaling? Well, wholesaling is flipping the contract, not flipping the property. Flipping the contract, not flipping the property. Most people, right? Most people would think of it that way because I utilize a tool called an assignment of contract. An assignment of contract, what that does is allows me to assign, ASSIGN, assign my rights to that contract with the seller or with the agent or with whoever I'm in contract to buy it from. The agent's gonna be my liaison. He or she's not gonna be the one actually I'm in contract with, but they'll be the one providing the contract. And so long as it's assignable, I can assign that contract for a fee. Well, why would someone pay me a fee to assign a contract? Why would I be able or want to assign a contract? Well, maybe I go into contract with the plan to proceed and renovate this property and sell it, or I go into plan to buy this as a rental, but then something else happens in my life that makes me realize it's not something for right now. It's something for later. Maybe I'm not ready yet. I get a call. I get an email from somebody saying they need my help with something. I have a responsibility outside of this work to go do something. And I'm like, I can't physically do this right now. So I'm just going to let this one go for $10, $20, $30,000. You know, that's a good problem to have, I would say. Right. And you do that once or twice a month and you're doing okay. But it's under the notion, very important, under the notion that I've invested the time to do what? Identify, analyze, negotiate, and contract the property. I'll say that one more time. It's required that I identify, I analyze, I negotiate, and I contract the property. Once I have a contract, that physical contract, this piece of paper that's a contract, is my asset. I want you to understand that the contract is the asset. Say that one more time. The contract is the asset. Okay. Flip side. What about not the contract? What's the other part of it? Well, in order for me to take an asset and liquidate it, as in make money from that asset or profit from it, I need to have a plan. Esther, I see you there. I just want to give me 1 second here, okay? Your plan is going to be, I need to have somebody else to take over that contract, an investor, a buyer, right? Someone that could buy the contract to the property, which does what? If they buy the contract, then they have the rights to buy the property. If they pay for the contract, then they could buy the property because the contract entitles them to buy the property for a certain predetermined price that I've then negotiated already and got under contract. I've got an agreement to sell the contract. I've got an agreement to buy the property, but now I have with an investor an agreement to sell that contract, which ultimately allows them, the buyer of that contract, to buy the property. Okay. So we have deal flow, as you've heard me say, which is sellers and property stuff that we could buy. And then we have capital flow, which is the buyers and investors that want to buy. And you might say, well, Doug, I already am buying property. Like I see Rich is here. We had Felipe here a minute ago. I think he might still be here. Others have bought property, right? Wendy and Esther and everybody's probably bought a property of some kind in your life. If I'm already buying, why do I need more buyers? This is why. This is exactly why. So I just told my clients last night, our inner circle clients in our, I think it was last night at 5 p.m., your contact list, the size of your contact list has a direct correlation to the size of the number of contracts that I can, and closings ultimately that I can close, like properties that I could buy and close. Because see, I look at my contact list and saying, who in my list has a deal that I can buy? And then who in my list is interested in buying a deal that I can sell? So let me say that one more time. Who on my list has a property or a contract that I can buy? Who in my list has the interest in buying a property or essentially having me sell them my contract? And what I do as a real estate wholesale company, if we're focusing on wholesaling today, right, is I connect the dots using the proper negotiation strategies and paperwork to do so. And when I can insert myself in the supply chain of real estate, which is what I call it, and I think it's not official, but I'll call it that. Okay. Supply chain of real estate, meaning I'm not the raw materials. I'm not the manufacturer. I'm the wholesaler. I'm getting many opportunities to buy, and I have some or many people to sell those opportunities to. And if I could do it in bulk, man, that's even better because now I could sell multiple properties to the same person at the same time as a package. And that's what our company is getting ready to do actually right now. We're putting our arms around a lot of property and a lot of deals all across the country. And we're bringing those deals, we're going to bring them to our growth collective first. Then we're bringing it to our buyers that are our VIPs that have bought properties before. And then we're bringing it to everybody else that can take a look at it in that order. And you may not see those things if you're a buyer, unless you're part of the communities that we just talked about, the community of paid invested clients and members of the Growth Collective, or previously purchasing properties and deals through us. And then after that, it's like whatever's left over. I hate to break it to you. It's not the breadcrumbs or whatever, or as I say, it's just nobody else wants to buy it yet. So if it gets there, it might not be a bad deal. It's just not a deal for somebody that we know already that's done business with us. So if you're curious about that, if you're curious about, what those deals look like, then another great reason would be to go to jointhegrowthcollective.com, because really the team in the Growth Collective is going to be communicating with our clients and with our interested folks that want to join us in the Growth Collective to say, hey, What are you looking to buy? What's your story? Where are you at? Where are you buying? What are you buying? How do you like to buy? And if we're not a good fit, we're just going to tell you we're not a good fit. But we have an opportunity for you to be plugged into our community as a buyer, not just as a coaching client, because some people just need to buy stuff, right? Like if you're here just as a buyer, just do me a favor somewhere and you're in the group, it's fine. You can put this, but if you're on Facebook or somewhere else, just put the word buyer if you were a buyer. So we know that we can reach out to you and talk to you about, what you're looking to buy, where you're looking to buy, kind of understand your buy box. If you're a wholesaler, then I'd like you to put the word wholesaler, right? Wholesaler. And then we know that you might have some deals. I probably could have said deals. That'd be easier to write, but you can write the word wholesaler because, we got to earn our fees, right? We got to earn it. So 20 to 50 grand per month in real estate wholesaling. Esther had a question. Go ahead, Esther. Do you want a quick question for you? Go for it.
No, I think I hit that by mistake.
I wasn't. I just want to make sure. Okay, excellent.
Oh,
All right, very
okay,
good.
thank you.
No problem. So I want to give you the opportunity. We'll come back around too for the other question you had before.
Okay,
So that's
okay,
awesome.
no
Thank you.
problem.
Excellent. All right. So it says on the bottom here, even without credit, without capital, experience, or a license. Let me break this down because I want to be as clear and authentic and true as ever possible with anything I do and with everything I'm putting on the screen here. Without credit, okay, I don't have to use my credit to buy property. I could form a partnership with someone else that has good credit. I could give my deal to the person that has the credit to go take a loan and buy that deal, right? So I don't personally have to have the credit. My company has to have access to all the things you see below, like except for a license. I must have access to some type of capital, possibly some credit, and definitely some experience or the interest in being experienced. In other words, someone who can actually take on this project as a property that they renovate and sell or that they keep as a rental. If I want to wholesale a deal. And by the way, this is under the notion of doing this in 90 days or less. Okay, so I'm going to talk about that in a second here, how we do that. But without credit, I need to leverage someone else's credit potentially. Without capital, well, that's the whole notion of leveraging in this way with a wholesale flip. Hey, who do I know that has the capital? Who have I met or who have I connected with that has the capital that would want to take on this project, this opportunity to renovate and sell, or this property to keep as a rental? Hey, listen, I'm going to talk about this tonight in the Dealmaker Live. If you don't have connections, that's okay, because literally today, tonight, and to tomorrow, you could add 20, 30, 50, 100 people in your list like really fast. In fact, you're sitting in a group, whether you're in our paid community, you have a group there, but you also have the free community, which has over 4,000 members as of right now, that you could tap into connecting with those people on DM. So if you haven't done that yet, you probably want to make that a priority. 20 to 30 people a day, 5 people a day, pick a number, but do something or get somebody helping you do something. Connect with the people in the groups that you're already into. Remember I said before, what am I committed to? What are you committed to? Well, you're committed to being here, so thank you for being here, but you're also committed to being a part of different communities. Maybe it's church, right? Who do I know at church that's interested in real estate investing or interested in real estate? Or maybe I haven't even asked the question yet. Who is interested in participating and earning a passive return maybe from church? Or who's interested in working? Who's a contractor at church that does business that I can help bless and work together and do deals with? Who is looking, who already does this that I don't even know does this? I haven't taught them about it yet. Hey, do you know anybody that does real estate? Who's a real estate agent? Who's a mortgage professional? Who's a lender? Who's an investor? Who buys stocks? Who has a 401k? Who has a HELOC? All these things, any of those things are the kind of people that you want to start connecting with. And then we figure out how to navigate through those conversations. But even better yet, who has already decided to be part of a group like this one here? They've already said, I'm interested and I want to do that. And I am doing that. Those are even better people to talk with initially, because now you have an idea that they're already committed to this. So, but the question is, have you reached out to them yet? And if the answer is no, well, there's part of the solution. Part of the solution, right? Because they may have the capital, the credit, the experience, and maybe a license if you need to sell it and you want to get on the MLS or you need to buy stuff on the MLS. Check it out. Quick commercial break for you to understand something. Let me just turn the screen thing off for a second. I'm pouring a lot of information out, right? And I'm doing that because I care and I mean that. And my clients and members know that I do this every week and every time I talk with them. this is a lot to absorb. This is a lot to feel and understand. That's exactly why we have a program with the Growth Club. That's exactly why I invest one-on-one time with my clients to break things down in your terms. Like someone just said to me today, meet you where you are. That's a perfect way of saying it. Like you might be here and I'm up here somewhere, or you're here and I'm here, or whatever it is. Okay. But if you're here and I'm over here, I'm going to come down to where you're at and meet you where you are and then bring you up with me. Okay. And then we're going to go. Some of you are actually the other way around. Let's see, I'm this hand and you're up here and you're like, well, what could Doug and team provide value? How could he possibly help me out? I don't know yet, but we should have a conversation, because if you're in this room listening to me right now, you know, we have an audience of people that want to buy deals, that are getting coached on how to properly buy deals, that bring us deals. You may want to tap into that. That's a great reason to look at the community. Maybe you don't need the coaching, but maybe you want the mastermind component of collaboration. So if you're an experienced investor, I'm talking to you as well. You know, let's go. Come out of the woodwork. Let's have a conversation. Like seriously, you've been following me, but like, oh, what's that guy doing? I can't believe he's doing that. Is he talk again? He had another meeting. All those emails. I'm so sick of seeing those emails and those texts. Man, it's getting aggravated. I know somebody's saying those things. It's all good. I respect it. I'm on a bunch of lists too, and I sometimes say the same thing. Like, man, there's Grant Cardone again. There's this guy sending out stuff. Tony Robbins or Dean Graziosi or these different people. And I'm like, you know what? But that helps excite me and empower me to want to go out there and do more. It's like, it's a kick in the butt to go out there and talk to people. So let's have a conversation. Hey, check it out. If you're in the space, right? I'm all about collaboration. If you're a coach, if you're an expert, someone who's in this space of real estate in some specific niche, and you want to tap into our audience and help bring value to our audience, I'm looking for people to be guests in our power hour that we're now doing on Fridays. I'm looking for people that want to coach with us in our platform called the Growth Club. So if you're somebody like that, hit me up, right? I'm not afraid to have a conversation about another person that's in the same space. In fact, I've built businesses by collaborating with people, and I believe in that big time. And I believe we could do way more together than we could do all by ourselves. So I'm 100% interested in having a conversation with someone like that, if that's you listening to me right now. So no matter where you're at, I want to meet you where you are. That's such a good way of saying it. And thank you to the person that said that to me before. On that notion, I've had the opportunity to work with some of the most amazing entrepreneurs, investors, and clients one-to-one that, you know, I never thought would be possible in some cases. So one of my clients, for example, you know, I'm not going to say who it is, but you might know who it is. And I don't want anyone to say that because it's out of confidentiality. But this particular individual has built, I don't know how many number of units they have now, but it's thousands of units. And it's not because of my work. No, this particular individual came to me and asked me for some help on a personal level with different things and organizing certain things in their life and their systems and their plan and their family and different things. And I was just so blessed to have that opportunity. And now I see this person, you know, impacting people that we both have impacted together because of the communication and collaboration that we've been able to do working together. And so I don't want the group here to think that like one-on-one talks with Doug is just about like getting you from not having any experience to like all of a sudden just going through the roof. Like that could be a possibility, right? That's definitely could happen. But maybe you're somebody who's already very much a high performer, right? Someone who's in this group at another level. And you're like, I just know that there's more though, and it doesn't need to be this difficult. Like if you want to have some accountability, some, you know, kind of check in and reflect, like things like I have this book here, for example, that I bring up sometimes. This is one of my favorite books, right? I'm almost done with it. I've been kind of reading it slowly, but this is an example of the stuff that I read and look at every single day. Right. Another book that I'm about to start reading, my buddy John hooked me up with this one, is this one right here, John C. Maxwell, The 16 Undeniable Laws of Communication. Thank you for the Christmas script, John. I appreciate you, buddy. And lots, you got me actually a business Bible. That was even a cooler gift. But I'm big on books. You can see behind me, they're not just sitting on the shelf. A lot of these, not all of them, full transparency, I haven't read every one of them. I'm not the guy that says something that's not sure. It's like, I didn't read every one of these books yet, but they're going to be read at some point. And the thing is, I'm doing it strategically to suffice what I need in my life for my, you know, growth and also for my clients' growth. So I'm prioritizing things accordingly with that. But the point of this is that if you're looking for some one-on-one accountability or coaching, let's have a conversation, right? You don't need to put a DM or a comment. I should say, send me a DM. Hey, Doug, I heard you saying stuff in the group. Like, I'd love to learn more about that. I have space right now for probably 5 to 7 more one-on-one clients on a weekly basis. And so what that looks like is we would have a weekly checkpoint, half an hour to 45 minutes, typically every single week. And you'd have access to me and my staff and my team, my systems and my processes as much as you need to get answers to questions and understand things as much as you need. So if that's you sitting here listening to me, just hit me up. Let's have a conversation. And then we're going to get into the 90-day accelerator in a moment here. But that presentation I just shared, that I shared the first page of, right? There's a deeper part of it, of course. I wanted you to understand the high level, right? Because we've already done that presentation, actually. I'm not going to redo the whole thing. It's inside of this group. So this is the thing. I'm going to show you quickly. Hopefully I can do this right. Hold on one sec. I'll get my screen share in a moment. Because this is an untapped opportunity for everybody here in this Facebook group. If you hear me in Facebook right now, I think for most of you, it's untapped. And it's kind of crazy because there's so much value here that we have done a lot of things to make this way. So hold on one sec. Share screen. So in the Facebook group, okay, if you're following along, you might want to take some notes. You can see this is me talking, I guess, and we got some folks here. Awesome. Appreciate that. Guides. Okay, right here, guides. Guide 1, identify. These are all videos that we've done, hour-long, typically plus, about strategies around identifying properties, identifying key relationships, identifying opportunities. See this right here? Real estate wholesaling masterclass. That's the presentation that I didn't give today fully that you already have access to right in your fingertips if you're in this group, right? Who do you know that could get benefit from this? Maybe you should just nudge them and say, hey, listen, check this guy Doug out. Go to the reimastermind.com. Just let us know that you referred them. And if they work with us in any capacity, we're happy to, thank you some way as far as getting you a gift card or getting you a referral fee, depending on what they do with us and how we work together. But get them in the group because there's all this content. People say, like, how do I do this? It's all here. Like this is the quote unquote YouTube university in our words, right? And it's being built out consistently more and more. I give this away for free because it's not about what to do or how to do it as much. It's about just getting it done and doing it the right way and being accountable to that. That's what we do inside the Growth Collective. Next thing, analyze. Okay. How many we got there? We got like 7, 8 videos for analyzing. That's hours of content. You can click on each one of them. You can see the titles and kind of see which one's most. Negotiate. Close a deal. Billy Alvaro. This guy's a rock star. Airbnb with Alicia Carter. Let's see. Quickest path for cash for newbies. Like these are all videos that can help you. Contracts, right? There's different things here. Closing a deal. There's all kinds of stuff. Repository. This is in, you can see. Do me a favor. If you guys check this out today or whenever you hear this, could you do me a favor and just click on like, okay, like this, just so I can see who actually sees it. I just want to see who's actually seeing the content that we're putting out. Cause this is like, I take a lot of, I don't know. It bothers me. It bothers me that people aren't seeing the stuff that we're putting out. And then you guys, maybe you're getting value for a moment, but then you lose track of it. And it's all in the guides. Like everything's there. It's all out there already for you to look at. And so maybe if you find something that's valuable, put a comment, share it with a friend, tell somebody about it. But the fact is we put it there for you guys to get value. Now that's different than coaching, right? That's different than getting a deal closed. So again, join the growthcollective.com has those details. I'm going to go ahead and actually get the link. If I have it, Mo, if you have it for me, pause my screen share. The video that we have made for the 90-day accelerator, which I know is inside of the, Mo, are you still there with me, bud?
Yeah, I'm here.
Can you give me the link that the team put together for the redone video for the 90-day accelerator so I can share that with the group here as we're talking?
Yeah, in a minute.
All right. I'll try to see if I can find it too. In the meantime, if you guys have any questions, let me see if I can, I know Esther, you had a question. You're hanging for one o'clock. So I'll address that question. That's kind of a specific, that's a good Q&A probably for our coaching group actually. So if there's any questions about the group or the Facebook group that we're looking at right now on our screen, maybe we could talk about that. Do you guys all know how to do this inside the Growth Collective as well? Can you guys see this okay? You understand the content?
Yep.
Okay. And by the way,
Yes.
members, as Mo's getting that link, we can go through this membership list and I can look through and say, members with things in common in our Facebook group. Well, I have a lot of things in common because they're probably either real estate investors or entrepreneurs or something like that. These are all people that have things in common with. Your member list of who's got stuff in common is different than mine, right? So Facebook does this for us. These are all people that with things in common with me. I go to members. I scroll down. Friends, right? Who would I know in the group that's already a friend of mine? Well, I have a lot of friends in this group. Members with things in common, okay? I'm going to try to get the next one here. What is it? Unavailable. I don't know what that means, but new to the group. So maybe I say, hey, I see you just joined us inside the group. I've been working with Doug and team for this period of time, whatever. You can reach out to them and say hi, say what you're doing, see somebody in a certain area. There's actually one that says, I think, in the same proximity to where you're at. I'm trying to see if that's on this. Keeps on scrolling. I'm trying to find the one that says, I can't get to it for some reason, but there's another section here. Let's see. I might have skimmed past here. Near you, 9 members near you. So what, if you have 5 people near you, maybe you get one of those people to meet up for lunch or coffee. Hey, I see you're in the real estate investing mastermind. By the way, you could do this with any Facebook group, not just mine. Any Facebook group that has members that you're a part of. Let me show you another one. Check this out. This is a bonus for today. I wasn't even planning on sharing this one, but somebody else invited me, so I'm going to pay it forward. This group has 285,000 members. This is not my group. Okay. This is not my group, but I can go to members. It cooperates. It's not loading. It's probably too many members, I guess, to show up on the screen, but it's thinking. Of the 285,000, I have 788 friends. So I got plenty of people I don't know yet in this group with things in common. It doesn't even give me a number. It's probably like thousands or it's real estate. And I can go down the list. I can add, request, whatever. Near me, there's only 10 people. That's kind of crazy, actually. 10 people in my area in this group of 300,000 people almost. So the point of this is connections. If I don't have the connection, I can't make the relationship happen. I have to focus on the connection, be intentional with my connections, and then ultimately look to see how I add value. On that note, I'm going to share this. What's the one we got here? Perfect. All right. I need to turn off the screen share and reshare it because of the audio. So give me 1 second and I'm going to go on mute and we'll wrap this up. What's going on? Let's go back. What's going on, everybody? Good evening. I wanted to just hop on here because, by the way, this is a pre-recorded thing. It's not a secret. I'm just letting you guys know, but that's me. That's me sitting in my living room, my house. I could say everything again, but I want you all to see this for the first time. This can be put out to our list and to a group of people as well. But I want you all here as my members in the real estate investing mastermind to hear this first, this video version. And some of you might have seen this video or parts of it in the past, but I want you to hear this. And I want to, feel free to send me a DM if you have any feedback or questions. It's going to talk about what to do after it, but I'll kind of summarize for us and then we'll bridge over to our 1 p.m. call. Okay, here we go. Man, since our 1 o'clock went through more details about the 90-day accelerator program that we have with the Growth Collective. And so if you're just kind of catching this and hearing about it the first time, no worries, it's okay. I'm going to cover just quickly some of the things that came up with some folks I spoke with this afternoon. A couple folks actually took the step to move forward and enroll, which I'm super excited about. Congratulations to those of you that did that. So let's just quickly talk about coaching and implementation versus education and information. A lot of programs out there, which is not the Growth Collective, by the way, a lot of programs out there offer education. That's great. Education and information will help get you knowledge and awareness, but it doesn't help you get understanding. So the one thing that we really take pride in the Growth Collective coaching and mastermind group is that we actually focus on implementation. Right, we focus on and coaching you through challenges, real life stuff, not just like hypothetical theory type stuff. So our clients in the Growth Collective actually get a implementation focused engagement, working in a private coaching and mastermind group, similar to this, but instead of it being you listening to me talk, we actually talk together. We actually correlate and communicate in a live Zoom meeting multiple times a week. I mentioned this earlier today. You have 5 to 7 sessions every single week. Conversations that we have vary from question and answers to deep dives. I'll talk about some of the specific meetings we have, like the hot seat discussion, having a mindset discussion every couple of weeks with my buddy Kyle, getting into some rental property investing with Coach David, talking about just deal structuring and deal analysis with myself and Coach Rich. Pretty much the full gamut from acquisitions through if you're wholesaling, dispositions, marketing, the sales process, all that kind of stuff. If you're looking to acquire rental property, deal analysis, DSCR loans, leveraging other people's money, OPM, all that kind of stuff, right? So another thing that came up is like, what about this 90-day do a deal guarantee? Is that like legit? Is that for real? Yes, it is. And the way it works is pretty simple. If in 90 days or less you don't close your next deal, we will continue to work with you for free until you do. You have access to the group, complimentary. So if that sounds interesting for you, that's another great reason to consider enrolling. In addition to that, unlimited one-on-one support. So like a lot of folks out there that are looking at different options,
you might be looking at a program that has somebody that's leading the ship, but they're not actually plugging in and actually doing the meetings. I know there's one particular that we're very well aware of because we have folks that have come from that particular group because they're looking for capital. I take pride in being the gentleman that started the company, being the investor that built my investment business, have faced a lot of challenges, but also a lot of successes, and sharing in that directly with my coaching clients and mastermind group. And so I believe in the power of one-on-one attention. And so with that, you'll have a private Slack channel where you'll actually have the ability to message me personally, ongoing, as much as you need to, and my office and my staff, right, that will help support you. And you'll also have the private Facebook group where you can message the rest of the group, including myself and the other coaches, to get that one-on-one support that you need. And even in the meetings, you can raise your hand and you get the one-on-one focus in the group meeting. So just I want to make sure you guys know that that's what's included with what we're talking about here. The offer that we talked about today, the 90-day accelerator, is new. It doesn't have any scheduled one-on-ones, which all of our other programs have. This one's just group access only, but you have the one-on-one support, which is so important for you. And then you have exclusive JV opportunities. I mean, there's people in the group right now, clients of ours, all across the country, from literally Hawaii to Texas to California to Florida, Canada, Georgia. I mean, I could just name probably 20 other states, but it's a blessing. It's awesome. I love it, and it's so cool to have people all across the country that are sourcing deals, looking to do deals, looking to partner up, looking to do JVs. So how about the opportunities that get presented in this group? This is where the mastermind concept comes into play, especially, and the collaboration opportunities. So if you're an experienced investor looking for people to collaborate with, looking to find deals in your market, and you want to go to a group of people that already have the intention to go do that with you, people that are committed to their success, that want to get deals closed, and you're looking for someone to partner up with, man, this is a great place to go too. So just because you're an experienced investor doesn't mean you shouldn't take a closer look at this. And so then also priority to capital, right? Everyone's talking about capital, and capital is becoming more difficult to obtain these days for a lot of reasons with the economy and different things that are going on. So having priority access to capital through realdirectlending.com and its funding partners is a real benefit to you. And you have a priority, meaning you'll be first in line because you're a paid client at that point. You've committed as the Growth Collective member that you might be, right? In this case, we're talking about people that might want to join. In addition to that, you have the standard stuff like structured content, right? Content that will help you not just hear theory and hypothetical, but actually take action on that content, move forward, take steps in your journey towards the goal, which is going to be sourcing deals, analyzing deals, negotiating deals, going under contract, understanding the funding process, understanding how to get things set up for success with construction and with management of the property. And you have access to a private Facebook community. In fact, you get 2 private communities where you could get all your questions answered as well in between sessions and post different things. Listen, a lot of you here know me from different things. A lot of you here have been around, JDL Ventures and the Growth Collective and different things we've done, different businesses that I've had and grown over the years, and it's a blessing to have you all here. And you're here now because you're thinking about maybe looking at the Growth Collective 90-day accelerator program. But how about some accountability? I mean, who here would want to have some additional accountability every single week, having somebody there, a coach that is an expert in what they do, a group that has the support and the ability to influence and help nurture your growth as a real estate investor, having just accountability, checking in and saying, hey, what happened last week? What did you do last week? How are we going to do this week? What's this week looking like for you? Are we going to get to some success? Are we going to get to some goals? Are we going to get to some progress? What's that looking like? Let's set some priorities. Let's set some targets. We talk about that every single week. There's a special meeting just for that alone. Oh man, this is a game changer. The weekly hot seat. You want to meet a guy who's been in the short-term rental space for over 20 years, who also happens to be my father, who's got a tremendous amount of experience. He's there too, right? But he's another benefit to the group, another coach, if you would, right? The coach of me, the coach of the coach. But in all seriousness, that weekly hot seat, we have a hot seat discussion every Thursday morning, and more than likely at some point in the near future, we're going to open up another hot seat because we have so many people coming up with some great deal flow that they want to review in detail and get answers on and get analysis completed. But the hot seat is probably one of the most valuable things. In fact, people have said to me that one hot seat meeting is worth more than the investment that they make into the program in of itself. And trust me, I've thought about it. I said, maybe we should just do the hot seat and that's it. But that wouldn't serve the rest of the folks that need the other things too, right? So there's multiple facets here. And so what is a hot seat? Let's just talk about that for a second. Let's say you have a deal that you're thinking about making an offer on, or you want to buy a property that you know is a good deal in your area. Someone says it's a good deal. How do you figure out the numbers? Well, you might know what to do. You might have a a draft of a review or of analysis, but maybe you don't know if it's really what it needs to be for you to make a decision to make an offer. Maybe you don't have the confidence yet to make the offer. Maybe you just need someone to say, hey, this looks like a great deal. Here is the reason why it's a great deal. Here's how the numbers work. Here's how the numbers don't work. Here's your negotiation leverage. Here's what I'm seeing as issues based on the pictures. I will personally step in there, or Coach Rich or somebody else will step in and do the analysis with you and give you the recommendations and support your ability to make the offer or negotiate the offer or counter or decide to navigate out of that scenario. Okay, we've had some clients literally make massive decisions from coming into that hot seat discussion. And if that's not enough, you have expert guests coming in, people that are literally guests that have had decades of experience. We're going to have a special foreclosure auction process masterclass just for the paid clients inside the group. So if that's something that in itself is worth thousands of dollars to understand how to buy auction properties. You want to wholesale some deals? We have a group full of buyers. How about some systems to scale? How about some virtual assistants, some tools, some processes? Check it out. It's real simple. If this is for you, don't think anymore. Just decide. Just take the step, move forward. It's no big deal. We have a couple of spots left. Somebody's going to grab those couple of spots. Hopefully one of them is you. Listen to me right now. And if you're not ready yet, that's okay. But just know that this offer itself will maybe not be around. I mean, this is a beta test for a group-only offer with a 90-day do-a-deal guarantee that we've never done before. So effectively, if you want to take advantage of this opportunity, go ahead and do that tonight. Fact is, like, this is special, though, for you guys to get started. So again, I appreciate you guys. I'm excited for you all. I'm excited for those of you going to take the next step and decide to move forward and decide to make this happen. Will the rest of your year be the year that you want it? Or is it going to be the same thing? Just another day, just another month, just another week, just another month, just another quarter, just another year? Or are you going to do something different? Are you going to decide to take that leap of faith and trust yourself and invest in yourself? I encourage you to do that. But maybe not ready yet, and that's okay. We'll talk real soon. God bless you guys. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you then. See you in the Growth Collective.
All right. Cool stuff. So shout out to the team for putting that together for us, because we had another video that that's obviously a recording from a previous video, but essentially been edited and kind of summarizes the program better than I could redo it all over again. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop this link. I already actually put it into the Facebook group on the chat, so, or in the comments. I know we have some folks in the room with us on Zoom, so I'm just gonna give you guys the same opportunity because not everyone is in that program. Or Mo already just did that. Perfect. So you guys have the ability, and what that is just a scheduler. So maybe you've been working with us for some period of time. You're like, maybe not in the Growth Collective inner circle. You're not part of any program that is that intense, and you want to step into that. You know, the best thing to do is to go to that link, schedule a time, book a call, have a conversation with our team, see if it's a good fit, and then kind of take it from there. Many of you may already know what that all includes, but if you haven't done it recently, you haven't had a talk with the team in that capacity, then just go ahead and take that next step. Anyone who has not talked with us yet about this, obviously, if you're interested in closing a deal in the next 90 days or less, guaranteed. Just to recap, if you don't close a deal in 90 days or less, we continue to work with you until you do with this program. So it's not like we just, say, good luck, have a nice day, wish you the best, close everything down, you're done. We'll still support you until you get to that success. So really, it's a commitment for yourself, financially and time-wise, to get plugged into this, like I said there. And not everyone's ready for that acceleration, right? And that's okay. But some of you want to get it done like way long ago. You're like tired of not closing the deal yet. So this would be a good reason to consider this, stepping into this together with us. And so one thing I want to clarify, the video did talk about a group only offer. So we've actually tweaked that part. So just to be clear, it does have one-on-ones with me weekly. Me personally, right? Myself. So I'll meet with you weekly, one-on-one every single week for the next 3 months, basically. And that's included in the 90-day accelerator. So that's another perk, which, the video, that one thing is just a little bit unclear, but that's something we added in basically since that video was done. Because that's going to give you that weekly accountability, weekly check-in with me personally, not just the one-on-one support in Slack, which is great, but actually having a scheduled time to talk live and like meet you where you are, like I know Kristen had said before, which is great. So with that being said, it's 1 o'clock right on the dot. We're going to stop this meeting here. You have the links to take action. Be an action taker, right? Do something, right? Maybe it's not the 90-day accelerator. Maybe it's not anything we talked about today specifically, but if nothing more, just do something that's going to put, things down the line, push the ball forward. And I would say tonight's a great example of another opportunity you have that's free, the Dealmaker Live, right? The Dealmaker Live is available to you for free. So if nothing more, join that, get to know more about the methodologies and the process, go out there and implement tonight with us, right, on the process. And so I just want to say thank you, right? Thank you for investing the past hour together with us, with me, with the team, and just really looking forward to hearing about your success. And, stay in touch. Let us know. We'll see you next week, God willing. Until then, have a great day. Bye-bye.